Hi, this is Channamma S M from Department of CSC RIMEC. The topic opted for the seminar is a blockchain-based framework for central bank digital currency. These are the contents we'll be going through this presentation. Firstly, let's start with the introduction. Cryptocurrencies were originated from blind signature technology that aims at solving the problem of unknown payment. The original eCash was centralized, untraceable electronic payment scheme which relies upon central banks for validation and transaction. The dependency of payment on third parties have been overcome by the emergence of Bitcoin and blockchain technology. After more than 10 to 12 years of development of hundreds of cryptocurrencies based on blockchain technology have emerged which had a good impact on financial market and economy. These schemes make peer-to-peer payments easier and cheaper, facilitating cross-border payment and retail payment. Cryptocurrencies are neither recognized by the sovereign institutions, neither by the government nor the trusted parties, which may raise regulatory issues for banks and government. The concept of central bank digital currency was proposed in order to comply with the digital development trend. CBDC can control the chaos of cryptocurrency schemes, stabilize the financial payment markets, and bring new opportunities for traditional financial infrastructure. Let's look at what is blockchain. A blockchain is a growing list of records called blocks that are linked using cryptography. Each block contains a cryptographic hash of the previous block, a timestamp, and a transaction data. The blockchain is resistant to the modification of data. Once recorded, the data in any given block cannot be altered retroactively without alteration of all subsequent blocks. It is an open distributed ledger. Distributed ledger is an agreement of replicant, shared, and digital data spread across multiple sites, institutions, and countries that can record transactions between two parties efficiently in a verifiable and a permanent way. A blockchain is a decentralized, distributed, and oftentimes public digital ledger that is used to record transactions across many computers so that no records are altered. So, what is CBDC? CBDC is a central bank digital currency. It is a digital form of fiat money. Fiat money refers to the inconvertible paper money that just serves as a exchange medium. CBDC is generally defined as the value of digital representation, electronic storage, and cryptographic transfer that is expressed digitally, stored electronically, and encrypted for transfer of ownership. It is issued and managed by a sovereign institution such as the central bank, subject to the laws and regulations applicable to a specific jurisdiction. CBDC is another form of fiat money, similar to coin and banknote, which can be effectively exchanged for cash in denominations. Let's see the difference between the decentralized cryptocurrency and CBDC. Majorly, there are four functional differences between decentralized cryptocurrency and CBDC. First, currency value. Currency value is the price of a decentralized cryptocurrency determined by the supply and demand relationship depending on the belief that there can be exchange of goods or a fiat money. Second, issuance and supply. Decentralized cryptocurrencies are issued and distributed by pre-agreement computer protocols without endorsement of sovereign authorities. Third, the payment method. Cryptocurrencies based on blockchain enable peer-to-peer payments between the user and merchants without third parties. When cryptocurrency is exchanged with other types of currencies, they must rely on third party, which increases the security risks. Regulatory approach. In decentralized cryptocurrencies, it is difficult to modify the transactions recorded in ledgers. This is a security feature of blockchain, but this also creates conditions for the illegal transactions. A blockchain-based framework for CBDC. A three-layer CBDC framework based on blockchain is implemented as follows. Regulatory layer. It is the main difference between the CBDC scheme with centralized issuance and the decentralized issuance. They mainly include central bank public infrastructure with identity authentication as core and sovereign institutions. They aim at implementing objects such as bank and third parties in network layer and user and the transaction in user layer. They are not centralized. The second is network layer. It is a bridge between the top regulators and ordinary users. It is different from peer-to-peer network structure, which is mostly adopted by decentralized cryptocurrencies. The network layer in CBDC has two different structures. One, the tree hierarchical structure, and second is the local distributed structure. The tree hierarchical structure is centralized on central bank, other regulatory agencies. Local distributed structure is composed of commercial banks and third party. The last layer is the user layer. This layer consists of the low level users and their transactions, which are not only the regulatory objects of regulatory layer but also the main data source for verification and processing of network layer. A cross-border payment by CBDC. In order to better introduce the advantages of the CBDC framework, we provide the use case for cross-border payment using CBDC. Cross-border payment refers to the completion of value transfer across geographical boundaries through multiple fiat currencies. It is an important use case for CBDC design. Conducting cross-border payment through CBDC could provide real-time settlement and reduce cost, enabling new business models and institute new models of regulatory oversight. This is the architecture of cross-border payment processing CBDC. In step 1, the sender creates a transaction under an ID he owns and submits it to the corresponding bank or third party operator. Upon receiving a transaction request, the bank or third party operator performs AML operations to verify whether the transaction is in compliance. If the transaction is compliant, the bank or third party operator locks the CBDC within the transaction. If not, the bank or third party operator will report the transaction failure message to sender. The bank or third party operator of the sender interacts with the bank or third party operator of the receiver through blockchain network in step 4, using the transaction information as a trigger to start the cross-border payment and smart contract, and then the cross-border payment or smart contract begins to execute. In step 5 and 6, the bank or third-party operator of receiver performs AML operations to verify that the receiver and the transaction are in violation. In step 7, if the cross-border payment smart contract is successfully executed, the bank or third-party operator of the sender feeds back the transaction success message to the sender and updates the sender's CBDC account or wallet information. The bank or third-party operator of the receiver sends the receipt message to the receiver. Meanwhile, the receiver can unlock the CBDC and keep it in his wallet or account. If the execution fails, the bank or third-party operator of the send feeds back the transaction failure message to the sender and unlocks the CBDC. In step 8, the regulators may also query, verify, and recover the transaction after the transaction is over. These are some of the features of CBDC. First, the centralized issuance. It is the most obvious feature of CBDC that majorly differs from the general cryptocurrencies. CBDC is maintained by central banks or sovereign states. Storability. CBDC and the transaction history are securely stored in the form of electronic data in an organization. Third, offline transaction. Here, it is impossible to achieve complete offline trading like physical currency in digital world. Offline transaction means that it may not directly communicate with host servers or the main systems when transaction is performed through electronic device and the payer does not exchange the information with other systems or device. 4. Exchangeability. In the circulation of CBDC in digital world, it is necessary to satisfy the exchangeability, including the equivalent exchange between one CBDC and other forms of the same sovereign currency. These are some benefits of CBDC. 1. Technological efficiency. Instead of relying on intermediaries such as bank, money transfers and payments can be done in real time directly from the payer to the payee. Second, financial inclusion. Safe money accounts at central banks could constitute a strong instrumentation of financial inclusion, allowing any legal resident or citizen to be provided with a free or low cost basic bank account. Preventing illicit activity. CBDC makes it possible for central banks to keep track of exact location of every unit of the currency. Safety of payment system. A secure and standard interoperable digital payment instrument issued and governed by a central bank and used as the national digital payment instrument boosts confidence in privately controlled money systems and increases trust in the entire national payment system. Financial safety. CBDC would limit the practice of fractional reserve banking and potentially render deposit guarantee less needed. Conclusion. Blockchain technology is mainly an internet technology that has high potential to make revolutionary changes in many fields. The banking industry and service can totally be transformed because of this technology. Here, The analysis is made on the functional differences between decentralized digital currency and CBDC in detail, and then give the security and functional requirements that CBDC should meet. In addition, we introduce the key business process of CBDC. Finally, we introduce the transaction processing flow of CBDC by taking cross border payment as an example. These are the references. Thank you.